Namaste, Guruji. I would like to play the prayer dedicated to the Christ Chapel in Sahaja. As I said you one time, all the music that comes is your love, is your grace coming through me in form of music. It's the grace of the Lord. So my music is not mine, it's yours. So I just want to, say thank you, because it's just a privilege to feel your love and your grace, and they just flourish in music. So thank you.
It can stay one moment. Om. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today. And I would like to say welcome, of course, all the many friends around the world who are joining us for today's Satsang, wherever you may be around the world. Welcome to Satsang. As I was coming in today, we just handed these beautiful roses by the door, and it arose in my heart to dedicate and to offer these roses to the beautiful people of India and also to the very beautiful people of Pakistan. And my prayer today is, may your each beautiful countries continue to live in peace. And may others follow and establish peace. And may truth and love become contagious again on this planet. That people will come to know peace. But also, in finding peace, it is important that we find who we are in truth. And when we discover the truth of ourselves, not as a philosophical discovery, not as an intellectual discovery, not as an emotional discovery, not a psychological discovery, not a biological discovery, but a discovery of our timeless nature, of our unity with the God Self. May that understanding come into the heart and the mind of every human being. It may seem to be a very far-fetched hope, but because I know what I'm speaking about is ever present and is the only thing that is consistently unchanging in this world, then I feel that my words in my heart are true. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to India for making us feel welcome wherever we have come from in the world to be here today. And may the longing, the true longing inside the heart of each one be satisfied. And this satisfaction can only come through grace and true understanding which come from the Supreme Self. Let it be so, let it be so. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Alleluia, Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste, welcome to Satsang, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's begin. You come.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get so emotional. I am wondering why some beings get this so much quicker than others, this anchoring. And I've had these joyful, happy, just very serene, peaceful moments in my life, but I cannot seem to stay anchored in it. And I sometimes find myself feeling jealous and getting confused why some beings just get this and very few. And I think, why would God's grace do that? Why would he give this to some beings so quickly, and to others it seems to sort of drag on and off?
I don't feel that it's in the play of life. There is giving and there is receiving. This gift, this offering, this knowledge has always been in the world, but the world has not always been in this knowledge. Don't blame God and say, oh, why you give to some and not to others. It's being offered to everyone. Why? Because the capacity is within you to grasp this. You ask, why some grasp it quicker than others? You see? We have no statistics. We have no research to say, this is why and this, but I have a sense that actually, and I've been doing nothing other than trying to explain where the mistake lies so that each one can recognize and say, aha, it is in mistaken identity. It is in a wrongly placed identity, you see? And how did it happen in the first place? And it seems as though, if I could give an example, if I should say, in the same way that all the beings living in the ocean are wet, all the beings who come into manifestation get conditioned into believing that they are the body, which is necessary for the consciousness to experience existence and diversity. The body is necessary. The body is not the problem. The body is not a curse. But we each seem to be referring to ourself, our personal idea of ourself, as the fact of who we are. And I'm only endeavoring to show you, not to give to you, because you are already that, to reveal that that identity is also shaped by consciousness, but it is a very limited form of consciousness. And that if life is really generous, and we are going to find out if it is or not, then it would be to discover that even this sense of personhood, which we feel is the fact of who we are, will be revealed to be the fiction of who we are, watched from the fact of our discovered self. And I endeavor that that is proven today. If you say, then okay, but why some get it more than others? On which side are you placing yourself, by the way?
Obviously, I'm not the one that gets it quickly. Although, Mooji, I have to say I have had these moments of deep, abiding, undescribable peace.
Yes.
And joy. And
why it doesn't last is because the one who is experiencing it is not consistent. It's not because the thing is not consistent, but the one you take yourself to be is not consistent. It is fluctuating, changeful, feeling like this today, feeling like that tomorrow. How can that inconsistent identity perceive that which is consistently happy, consistently joy? I want to show, and I want to prove it to you, actually, that if it is recognized, because you feel that you have the sense, but I am here, I am constant, I'm constantly myself. And I say, well, actually, you're constant more at the place of presence or conscious presence, or as the witness. You're more constant there than you are as the person. The person is not stable. It is fluctuate, come and go. Today it feels like that, tomorrow it feels like this. It is not a reliable, consistent state. And it's that state that you're referring to as yourself. And hopefully, at the end of this conversation, you will come to see that that is really not what you truly are, but the idea or the impression you have of who you are. It is not stable. Now, we have to move on from this point. I'm only saying this now,
Yes.
okay? When you speak of yourself, you say, yes, I have had moments, I have had periods of this joy, of deep peace and so on, but it goes away. I'm not able to stay there. So by saying that, you automatically assume that there, the place you're talking about, and you are different, and it takes effort to be there. Well, it will take effort for the one you take yourself to be, because you don't understand that the you really is the there you're talking about. And I want to show, because it's not enough that I just say it, because your mind really is the one that really hears it and is trying to make sense of that. But I want to show you another place, a deeper place, you see. So speak another few words and let's start. Let's see what happens. Carry on from here for me.
Sometimes I have very strong anger comes up in me as well.
Yes.
And
everything about you is sometimes. Everything about you is sometimes. Sometimes like this, sometimes like that. This is indicative, actually, of the state. Sometimes. Somehow, there is a power in you that is able to acknowledge and to observe even the one who says, yes, sometimes I am like this, and something observes sometimeness. That which is able to observe the play of sometimes I'm like this, and at other times like that, that which observes sometimeness is that itself sometimes. Excuse me. Slow down. Let's take a look, because this look is a very important and valuable look. That which is able to say, sometimes I am like that, and other times I am like this. That which is observing and seeing sometimeness, that place of observing relative to the sometimeness it is watching, is it sometimes?
no.
Yeah, but I won't accept the answer from your head. Something says, no, it isn't. But that does not lead to a deeper fulfillment. You see? It has to become your experience. Where are you looking from? You see? You say, yes, sometimes like this and sometimes like that. Don't identify with or don't log into the play of sometimeness. Just observe with some detachment. Just observe. You with me?
Yes.
So from the very observing place, that which is observing, is that a sometimeness thing? Does that word of sometimeness apply to that? Or is it constant and consistent? That field of seeing. I know it's going to take a few goes because your mind is not used to getting around that. But even, watch this, even the mind trying to understand that is also observed. Isn't it? I can wait. Even the attempt of the mind to try and say, I didn't quite get that. Even that is observed. Or observable.
I'm finding myself afraid to answer that because...
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm going to push at this, okay? I'm finding myself unable to answer that. Is also an impression and a feeling arising in you that is also observable. You are trying to get somewhere with a feeling, but I'm more interested in that which simply observe that, because that feeling will soon be gone. That feeling and that identity will soon be gone, because it's just traffic. It's like clouds passing. But you have the impression that you are the stable one experiencing unstable states and affected by them. And I know how difficult what I am saying can sound, because also there's a little resistance inside to really follow what I'm speaking. Because if you follow what I'm speaking, it will take you to yourself. That's not quite true, because even the you being taken to yourself, that you is not true. If I've gone too far, I'll stop, and we can try another way of speaking. But this is as direct as I can be with you for now, as in accordance with your capacity to follow me. Because as long as there's a strong personal identity in you, that's where you think you are hearing from. That is the you that you feel need to make progress to get more deeply towards the goal, which you say is your true self. For me, all of that is imagined.
How sometimes I find it hard to distinguish between my mind and my consciousness. That is kind of, I guess the more identified you are, the more strongly identified you are with your imagined self, the harder it might be to be able to tell
Yes.
what's coming from your being and what's coming from my
Yes, because the
ego.
more you're identified with the sense of personhood, the more blinded you are into seeing things in the holistic way. The more there is in you strong identity in personhood, that personhood limitation is not able to comprehend the whole. And yet it is not truth. I know these words first talk I'm having in the morning and may seem like, whoa, I'm just not getting this. It's okay. You will. But you must get it now. So you're saying, where you are speaking from is a place that most beings know and are familiar with and identify with this son, who say, I find it very difficult to do this. Yesterday, it was introduced to you, I say, a fresh exercise, and it's called eye watching the eye. Did anybody remember what I said about it? Did it prove to be effective or not? And what is this exercise? I say, whenever you speak, the most potent and most powerful word or concept is I. Because it is the firstborn of all concepts. Because as soon as the I arises, then the sense of you or other can arise. The sense of other cannot arise if the sense of I is not there. Because it's in respect to the I that the sense of other is. I don't know if you catch it. So I is always there. The I feeling is there. But the I feeling is given to the sense of personhood, whereas the natural sense of I represents consciousness. When you say I, it indicates consciousness. I am. Consciousness am. Am means exist. I exist. But this natural I exist feeling is confused with the person. And the person is a very restricted, very contracted state. Okay, keep on. Let's see. We must go through. Therefore, what I said is, whenever, as you begin to speak, even think, With what identity are you speaking? Watch that. Just watch it. Is it personal? Is it impersonal? Are you speaking as the pure consciousness? Or are you speaking as merely the body? Or are you speaking as a sense of a personal self? It's important to watch. And you'll probably almost always see that when you refer to yourself, it's as a person. It's part of our cultural conditioning. And everyone, almost everyone, relate to and refer to themselves from the position of the I person, rather than as I consciousness. This is why Ramana Maharishi, he say, the I removes the I and yet remains the I. The paradox of self-realization. What is he speaking about? The natural intuitive sense, I am, transcends or overcomes the I, me person conviction, and again remain in its natural state, I am, I exist. It's from that I exist state that I'm asking you that you can observe your person and its world. As soon as you recognize this, everything begins to change for you. Your world becomes much, much more expansive, more light, more open, less afraid, more peaceful, and not a piece of peace. Peaceful. Peace. Consistently.
Right.
Okay.
Consistently. When I've had these moments of being, what I find myself doing is
let's do the exercise right now. Who are you referring to when you say when I? Is it? Just do the check with me.
Okay.
When I do this and when I do that, what is the I you're referring to? Look at its position. Is it a person? Is it the pure self? Is it the body alone speaking? Is it the mind alone speaking? Respond. Watch it. What are you referring to yourself as? Is it personal or impersonal? Is it from the place of consciousness or is it from the place of the person? You see, what we are doing here would be an exercise that probably many, many years ago, very few people would have had the chance to sit with this type of guidance. Because the majority of people are not concerned about these things. Just bless me, bless me, bless me, give me more money, give me more success. You know? But this is the kind of looking that will bring you back into your freedom. Trust it a little. Follow it and see what you discover, even right now. From where you are referring and to who you're referring to you as yourself, is it personal or is it impersonal? Is it from the place of consciousness? A simple question.
I'm having a hard time seeing that. When the statement that I was going to make was when I am in the being, what I find myself doing is laughing hysterically at life because I can see none of it is serious. But then to get pulled back into this, the pattern of the habit of getting pulled back into that is
that
so
which
instant.
Can go into and can be pulled out of is not you. That which can be pulled about, can go into and come out of. Obviously something watches or is aware of the sense of being pulled into, enjoying, and then being pulled out of. Something watches this, but you're not conscious that it is you. A deeper place within you is able to watch this shallower movement of going in and coming out. Because it has not been pointed out, it's now being pointed out. The sense of going into, you say, when I'm in the state of being, I laugh at just how shallow my feelings were about things, because I'm more stable here. Yes, grace gives you that example and experience, but it is momentary because you are perceiving and thinking that it is your person having this experience. But in that pure experience, your person is not there. It's not that you changed, you were exchanged. Your person was not there. That's why you're so happy. When your person is not there, you're really happy. But from your mind, you think, when my person is there, my world is finished. That is a big delusion. One which, if you follow, you may come to see today that, wow, I was just imagining all these things and imagining they were true, and I can see now it's just made up in my mind and believed in my mind. I really don't want to sit here explaining. I'd rather go on a ride with you, to walk with you through these examples, looking and discovering. I'm not in a classroom. I'm not teaching you on a blackboard.
I want to go for the ride all the way, Mooji. I don't want this in installments either. I flew all the way from Santa Cruz to be in your presence.
Yes.
Not because I want,
Okay, I get the point.
Okay.
Okay. Then how much you can follow me if I say, let me try another simpler way, maybe. If you, right here as you're standing here, no? If I ask you, don't try to destroy anything or suppress anything or develop anything. Simply don't cling to anything for a moment. That's the simplest advice. Don't cling to any idea. Don't hold on to any idea. A fresh idea or an old idea. Even to the sense of identity of who you think you are, Just for a moment, just leave them right where they are and don't cling to them. Is possible we can start here?
Yes.
So just any history about yourself, any biography, your self-assessment, just suspend that for a moment, just for a little bit, just for the short time we talk. Okay, don't hold on to any shape. And any projections about the future, like I came all the way here, I hope I go back, just don't touch any idea or concept for a bit. Is possible? It feels agreeable for you?
Yes.
Okay, so just be empty of don't be a container of ideas or intentions or memory for a moment. Just be empty of them. Because we can do that. And anyone else can follow. So let go, just be completely empty of this. In a short while, you can go and pick them back up if you want. But just for the moment, just leave them. Leave all this stuff. Okay? Notice how it feels if you're not holding on to anything for a moment. Just notice what your inner environment is like. You're not holding on to any, there's no valuable or favorite concepts for a moment. Just leave it. It's good?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And also, the idea, okay, I've done that, okay, now what we do? And I say, no, next. Don't touch even the idea of next. So the next thing is, no, don't touch next. So just be with this, okay? Don't hold on to anything about your body. Like, okay, I'm a woman or a man. Okay, we know that, but we don't have to hold that. Just let that just be. So you can just be empty for a moment. It's good. Just be like this. So you don't have to be focusing on any scenario or any idea or any intention at all. There's nothing to look at. There's no pictures. You're not reporting about a movie. So how are you right now? I'm just asking for some feedback for a moment.
Nothing. I feel nothing.
You feel nothing, okay. Is there any quality, like a negative quality about this nothing? I want to say this because sometimes we say nothing and it's coming from the mind. It's like nothing, it's not what I want. No, but just be nothing. Okay? Is it a negative or positive state?
It's neither.
Empty. Say? It maybe is not what your mind came here for. Maybe your mind is thinking, well, okay, but when am I going to get enlightened? Or whatever it is. Forget about enlightenment for a moment. Just for a moment, forget about all these, even enlightenment. Forget about it for a moment. Just be empty. Is possible? What is happening with you?
I guess my mind wants to turn it into some sort of sensation.
Okay.
The emptiness and...
Yeah. So, but we're not going to go there, are we?
No.
Because if you go there, we're not here with this. Your mind wants to do something. That's the habit. It doesn't matter what the mind wants to do. For the moment we say, we're not going to be the servant of the mind for the moment. We're going to be empty of our mind. So even if it's out there scratching against the walls of your mind, okay, just leave it. There's nothing to do about it. But don't log into its pull. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yes. So stay as you are. Be empty of that. You cannot stop someone from coming off the street and knocking on your front door, but you can stop yourself from opening to that. So I'm saying, don't be open to the mind pull. Simply stay as you are. So even if mind is knocking and saying, it's me, come on, I just want to say hello. And you say, well, hello. No, but just open the door a little bit. So don't engage with this. So just stay as you are. It's okay?
Yes.
Are you feeling embarrassed about this?
No.
Okay. So just stay like this. Empty, empty. Not engaged. Not a container of anything. Not a retainer of anything. Just empty of this. It's not difficult. Okay? Doesn't matter what the mind wants to do. You're aware the mind wants to do something. But not now. Stay as you are. Keep paying attention, not what is happening outside in the space of feelings and sensations and so on. But just now, how is your inner environment? Don't imagine. Don't imagine. Don't create. Just observe. How are you internally now? You have to think about it?
No, there's
Okay, so-
nothing coming to mind.
Okay, I'm not asking what's coming to mind. You see, your mind is right there.
I know.
I'll help you. I'm saying, no, you don't need the mind's help. That's been the problem. You always, what can we do? No, you don't, just leave him alone for a minute. You see, look, you see? It's so hard to be without your mind, even for a little bit.
Why is that so hard?
It's not hard.
It's
You are
not.
thinking it is hard, and believing you're thinking.
Right. How to shatter that?
When? You want to do this? We can stop. I can take someone in.
No.
Okay, well, cut the commentary. Okay, for want of a better word, but cut the commentary, guys. Okay, cut that for a minute now, and just stay in the place of your. Don't log on. You can observe without combining and getting involved in this. Is possible or not?
Yes.
And if you feel it hasn't been possible until now, I'm only talking about now. Are you and your mind holding hand here?
No.
Ah, thank you. All right, good. So in this, as you are now, not combined with anything, just pay attention, you know. I'm not asking you to do anything, some spiritual gymnastics. I'm just saying, leave everything for a moment. A simple advice, leave everything, everything, even the desire for enlightenment, for a moment. Even the need to meet God, just leave it for one moment. Because so far your mind has been collecting all these intentions. So leave all this stuff for a moment. If you leave everything that can be taken out is taken out now. Just taken out. What remain? Just pay attention. What remain? Don't imagine. What remain? Do you have to go somewhere to find out?
No.
No. What remain?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, nothing. Is there any peace there?
Yes.
Yes. You can confess, it's okay. Yeah? It's not just nothing. Is it just black hole? Or is there some pieces there?
It's peace.
Yes.
There's peace.
Anything else is here?
There's joy.
Joy, wow. It's coming quick, okay. Some joy is there. What else is there?
There's gratitude.
Gratitude. So, emptiness, nothing, peace, joy, gratitude. Not what we expected in the nothingness. Just enough. Okay? Do you feel disappointment?
No.
No disappointment. Let me just ask you a little bit more, no? What you are discovering, are you creating?
No.
No. Are you efforting to maintain them?
No. I feel no effort.
Huh?
No.
No. What you are discovering here, now you're discovering something. But where has it been all this time?
It's always been here,
It's
Mooji.
always
It's
been here.
just blocked by my mind, my thinking.
Yeah, forget that.
Yes.
Forget that. Just now, okay? No commentary, just a simple answer, okay? Yeah. The mind is waiting, like, I can help you. Yeah? Okay. No, you don't, just for a bit. Let him stay outside and shine your shoes or something. So you just stay here, no? You're discovering that somehow when you're not holding on to all the things that your mind is giving you to calculate and to work out and to analyze and to admit and to judge and so, just suspending that activity or the engagement with that activity, you are discovering a space of emptiness, a sense of like nothingness, but there's a joy, there's a silence, there's peace. And you say also a sense of gratitude. Okay? Then I ask you, this that you're discovering here, where you're discovering it today, but where has it been all this time? Did it arrive today? And I ask you, did you create it? You say, I did not create it. No? Mm-hmm. How is it staying here? Is it by any effort? I mean, are you keeping it? I mean, there's peace, but are you a peacekeeper by any chance? No, it's just here. Okay. Let's see a little bit more. Is there any way that it can fade, this of itself? Can it fade, like gets weaker and weaker? Like the further you go out walking, it's getting weaker and weaker. No. And then, oops, too far, come back. You know, is anything like that true?
No way.
No. If you go to sleep, and a deep, deep sleep, where there's nothing at all, okay? And you wake up, is it possible that this would be gone? No. We have you on record, by the way, saying all this stuff, okay? Why would it not be gone?
I don't know.
You do know, actually. Why would it not be gone?
Because I am that. I am that.
Thank you. Now, you say, I am that. Is that a belief?
No.
Is it coming out of a kind of an emotional state? Those words?
No.
No. If the mind comes up now and say, you, no chance for you. You know, Mooji has been hypnotizing you. Look. Okay? So, he's hypnotizing you. He's actually hypnotizing everybody. Except one or two. Okay? And your response?
No. No. No way. No.
Can this be true only while you're standing there and because you're standing here with me?
No.
No. Thank you. Can I ask you something more, something that seemed very unreasonable, a question to ask you? This that you are perceiving, and you say, I'm not creating it, but I'm simply at one with this. I want to ask you some questions which are very unreasonable for a human being to be asked. Because you're not a scientist, you're not a researcher about these things. Can I ask you, was this that you're experiencing, was it born? Did it have a birth date or day? Was it sort of like, it wasn't and then it was?
I don't see that.
Yeah.
There is just a knowing that it's always been here.
Okay, I accept this one. Is there any place, any boundary beyond which it is not?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I don't see any boundaries. I don't sense any kind of limitation.
Is it an object that can be? No. Can it die? No. Okay, I ask one more question for you. Just one for the moment. How close are you to it? Because people say, yes, you know, you're very near. It's so intimate, I'm so close. Is that true for you?
No.
No? You sure?
Yes.
So, may I conclude that if the things you have responded to are true, and you didn't have to take time to ponder over them, it's like, it's so direct for you, this knowing. You can change my words, you can tackle it. If this knowing and this seeing is immediate, you don't have to do any research because it's right here present with you. Can I say or deduce that all your responses are about you?
They have to be. It would seem that it would be about me.
Yes. Is it you personally?
No.
Okay. Okay, end of exercise. So as we promised, you can go back and pick up the old stuff like you are, and we just go back to normal again, and because nobody's going to steal them, I'm sure. Stuff.
Thank you.
You sure this is not just a feeling?
It's not a feeling.
Yeah.
The mind wants to sort of get in again. I can
Yes.
see it.
Yes.
But
you
I
can
don't-
see it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You think you can invite the mind in just now? Just say, okay, mind, okay, come on, never mind, come. Come in, okay? Throw your best punch. I just want to try. Can we try this?
Sure.
Is it risky?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's risky.
Okay. You who are saying, I don't think it's risky, are what again? Just check in.
I am.
Are you strong or weak or anything?
No.
No. Okay. It's good like this. So could we invite the mind, what you call the mind, and something back now and see and look at it? Open doors. Even no doors, take the walls down and everything now. The mind can come.
It could.
Okay. And? So he's not knocking outside now. Because now there's no outside for the mind. There are no walls and no doors. Okay? So now, what? From the depth of yourself, from your natural state, is it saying, no, don't let the mind in?
No.
No.
No. Seems to be quiet now.
The mind's quiet now. Mm-hmm. I wonder why. Now is the perfect time. We're good like this?
Yes.
May I check in with you again
Please.
to see? Yes. If tomorrow, please remember her face. Not her clothing, because she may change, but her face. If you see her again tomorrow, you can check in with her. And if you find her getting very annoyed, like, leave me alone, just ask her, who are you again? You have my permission to do that. This is body language, anything behind it?
No.
It's amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, come.
Thank you. There's a really strong urge to come up today, like just stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours has just really made me see this thing I'm holding on to, like where you just guided this lady and you've been guiding everyone for the last few weeks, like living in Sahaja. This is very clear. This is very clear. But there's still this one that kind of enjoys being miserable.
There's a one who enjoys being miserable. I've heard about this one, that there's someone who is never happy unless they are unhappy. Have you heard about? You maybe know the one also? Intimately? Okay.
I caught myself saying to Sana yesterday that I was tired of being the miserablest person in the happiest place. And as I said it to her, I could see the one holding on to the, like, wanting to be miserable to keep it alive. And I was seeing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I just wanted to come up and just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Let it go.
I watched the Satsang you had with Martin last night, and it really touched me because everything he said was everything I've been wanting to say for a long time. And at one point you said, like, this is all coming now because you are right on the edge of your transcendence.
Yeah.
And it was so clear, like, yeah, if I just drop all this,
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yes.
And I fully know that in my heart.
Yes. We can use the word dropping it, or we can say leaving it. Which is easier, to drop it, or to leave it, or to don't touch it. Whichever way, it amounts to the same thing. We're free to do it. Yeah? Because this power comes because of your seeing. You can see, wait a second, there's something that enjoys being miserable. And there is like a very intimate relationship with that, where the feeling of I has got a bit locked into that also, and feels like, it's like me, just like, I win because I am the most miserable person in the happiest place. Okay? So, okay, you may find that there's some competition actually. Okay? So, that was seen, and that is seen, and you see something sees, but hey, what is all that about? It's nothing. Who is holding on to that? Is it you who are holding on to that, or that is holding on to you? Because I want to remind you of something. You, who I see to be the self, can exist without that, but that cannot exist without you. Again, you, who and what you are, can exist and does exist without that. But that cannot exist without you. You understand? It needs something from the sense of you, either some identity or some interest or some association or some belief, because that's the fuel that keeps that spirit alive in you. But it is not you. Like I was saying, I can use this light and cast a shadow on the leg. But however much I can use lighting, I cannot convert that shadow into the hand. This is a shadow self. It cannot exist. The shadow cannot exist without the hand. But the hand exists without the shadow. In the same way, you are watching a shadow identity that is saying, but you see it now, because for a while it seemed to be existing in a kind of blind spot that you sense but couldn't see, but now you can see. And you're not seeing with just fleshly eyes. You're seeing with the eyes of understanding, in the intellect of the being. You are seeing from there in such a way that even a man who is physically blind could say, yes, I can see that. Because you can see it with understanding, that thing, that idea, is only an idea that has grown into the sense of an entity through belief, habit, and association. You see? Now you say, I can let it go. Well, you are like what? This thing is like a form. But are you a form? Do you even have to let it go? Isn't it that in merely seeing it, it has no power? In merely seeing it from who you truly are, how can it be attached to you? In what way? Who are you? Do you have a shape or a size that these things can stick to it? Where are you seeing from? You see? Maybe that sounds a bit complex. If you feel, I can just let that go, then let it go. It may work just fine. See? That idea doesn't stick. But if you feel that there's an I that needs to let it go, you may remain as an I who let it go, and therefore an I who can get it back. But if you are nothing, you will see that it was never real in the first place. And how can you kill that which doesn't exist except as an idea? That's why the term waking up is so appropriate. It's as though we've been dreaming this. Now you are seeing, but whoa, you're not don't remain as a person who let something go. Let the person go. Because one of the ways in which it appears to live is like by posing as credible. If I let the person go, I'm letting a lot of my life go. No, you're letting go of your strife, delusions go. You cannot let go of what is real. The real you cannot separate yourself from. It can only be hidden somehow when you take on the eyes of a person. So if I say let it go, and you let it go because you are nothing, how does nothing let anything go? I just want you to see this, so that you don't remain or keep any seed of being a letting goer. You don't need even that. And see how you feel if you let it go. Because the mind is going, no, if you let me go, it's black hole for you. If you let go of this, if you hold on to this, that's your life you're letting go of. Why am I saying this? Because if you listen to the voice that's coming there, what you may end up doing is tying a safety rope around your waist and tying it onto a tree and going into the place of the voices saying, come. And you will not reach because you have already made a contract of not having the faith in that. What faith you need to be where you are? This is the subtlety of delusions. You mentioned that you watched an interaction between myself and Martin, one of our beloved Sangha members, that you saw that in that discussion, in that talk, you see, how much the mind was playing. It's so subtle, so subtle. Like none of this would have been possible if the mind did not have the power to imitate the self. But it could only imitate the self to the one who is imitating you. The idea we have of who we are is suffering from the delusions of its own projections. You are untouched, but you are unaware of your perfectness actually. And Satsang is here to expose that. I said to you that there's, in our dynamic expression of as living beings, there's a duality at play within us. There's a force that is working to keep you into the state of egohood, to be concerned about things which are perishable, about this and that and you and me and jealousy and insecurities and being better than and all of this stuff. And yet there's another force within you which is an elevation in consciousness, to go higher and higher into consciousness. And you may not have been aware of these forces until you begin to not only search for truth, but beginning to experience your deliverance, to experience your transcendence. It's like the ant's nest is stirred up, and all of these energies are coming up, and you think, oh my God, I'm going mad, and I'm going mad. Actually, you are becoming sane. You have been mad. Everybody is mad because you believe yourself to be something we are not. And we know how to look sane as an idea. But as long as you're living under the spell of ego, you're not living in the fullness of your truth. I am not giving you a burden like you've got some huge hill to climb. You don't have anything to climb. You have nothing. It's not like, because the mind wants to turn this into some epic. You have to gonna climb the Himalaya of your ego to plant this flag of freedom, okay? With greasy feet. And I'm saying, this is still your dream, your delusion, your nightmare. I want to show you how easy it is. Why easy? Because you are already what you're searching for. You are already what you're searching for. But because you believe in the identity of the seeker, who is illusory, the thing searched for seems at a distance and far away. But you are told that the self is infinite and all-pervading. If it is infinite and all-pervading, how can it be separate? It is always here. It is more here than you. It is more here than the idea you have of who you are, which is always fluctuating like the waves on the surface of the ocean. And you are discovering this, but resistance is there because the mind says, if you do. I remember in my own time, there was a time when it was time to go beyond something which is a limitation, but I was not sure in my mind, okay? And I want to tell you this. I'm not embarrassed about it, but there was a time I was a bit embarrassed about it. Because it was a time to go beyond a limitation, and I was looking, and suddenly it was as though something inside me say, if you go there, you're going to end up like Quasimodo. Quasimodo! Now, Quasimodo was some French, I'm not a French character, we see, of this hunchback like this, no? It's not even in my culture. I see a black and white movie when I was maybe about 10 years old. But the mind said, he didn't like that. If you go one more step in this direction, you're going to end up like Quasimodo. And I thought, whoa, no, I don't want to go there. That was a reaction, but yet something inside, let me call it grace for now, was saying, no, you've been through this type of thing before. Trust it. There is a pull. Trust that pull. And I opened to this pull, and Quasimodo disappeared forever. Even now I can speak about him. He don't exist. You understand? Something inside is intimidating the idea you have of who you are. because you believe more in the idea, the constructed self, than you are aware of your true self. So this psychological attacker, it cannot attack or intimidate your true self. It can only intimidate your self-image, the idea you have of who you are. It is the idea you have of who you are who has been suffering this existence, hoping one day to reach the place where you're now looking from. And this has to happen. This feeling of, if I let go of this, if I let go of this, I don't know where I am. If these voices catch you, and they can only catch you if you go back into personhood. It's almost as though something wants you to come back into personhood, where its voice is more virile, where its influence is more sure. But if you stay as the weakness, the detached weakness, you are exposing these voices as unreal. And as much as you see their unreality, you don't have to go and find your reality, because they're exposed in the light of your reality. Is this too much to take in? No. I'm only putting a mirror in front of you. But the mind is asking, how does it work? I'm putting a mirror. Why a mirror? Because when you look in a mirror, you don't have to construct, you only see. So when you say now, yes, I see this thing coming up, I saw that play. For how long you have been hypnotized by these thoughts, but now you saw, through looking at another scenario that helped you to recognize your own scenario, you can say, I caught him, I could see him. This is what the Buddha did. He saw how the illusions were created, and in that moment he says, yes, you who have built this house, I have found your foundation, and I'll break your foundation. You are finding out what is holding this illusory self together, and you say, let it go, then let it go. But don't retain the identity of a one who let it go. Just let it go. This is the power that you have, the power of discernment. There's no need to create a self, because your self is the uncreated self. This is created. This is in time, as all created things are in time. And they will exist for a time. And then they will dissolve in time. This is a mortal body, but the immortal is residing in it for a while. When this body go, he cannot go, because he's everywhere present. I don't want you to believe this. I want that you see, and you are beginning to see. A force exists in you, and that force exists in the world, and is keeping us blind to the truth of who we are. Wake up. Satsang is the waking room, not the waiting room. Waking room. And this is what's been happening here since coming to this place of Rishikesh, is we are bearing witness to beings waking up out of the sleep of time and change and ignorance and death into timeless awareness. So I did not come to talk about these things and to preach and to tell stories only, but to witness your transcending. to wake up out of the idea, out of the fiction of you, into the fact of you. And it is good. Why we are showing these films in the afternoons and listen to these accounts in the afternoons? Why? They're happening here in Rishikesh. We didn't bring these films from somewhere else. This is what's happening every day. Even on my day off, they're happening. We are encountering beings who are coming back into their seeing, winning yourself back from states of delusion. And I'm asking you to watch, because you will see these people here moving about. I'm asking you to watch so that you get the confidence and the faith to apply the pointings that are being made. Why I call it pointings more than teachings? Because if I teach, you have to become student. It's fine, it's okay. But when I point, it is direct. If you ask me, how do I go to Tapovan? I can give you a map, or I can tell you the history of Tapovan, but that will slow you down. But you say, but where is it? But as I told you, I say, I understand intellectually. And I said, okay, I walk with you and I show you. I don't have to teach you about Tapovan. I show you, this is what you want. Here it is, right here. In what direction must I point you if you're searching for the self? I cannot say go, because going means go out, go there. I can only tell you, look here. Where is the distance between you and yourself? Just the distance of a thought. A belief creates separation and distance. And you're here to wake up out of this sleep. It is not a bad play. It is an extraordinarily brilliant play. You cannot be a victim because you are the one you are searching for. Therefore, I say you have the advantage, because you don't have to create a self. You don't have to make a self, but you must recognize that which you are not, which presently you take yourself to be. For a while, this is also to say that I'm this person growing towards a self. It is a very big road. And most beings, because we believe we are the body-mind person, will follow that path. It is also a great path, the great river of religions all over the world, and people, we are moving in the path of elevation, the path of what you may say, the path of growth, of evolution, going closer and closer to our imagined goal. It is a path. What is this path? Refining the sense of identity, moving from the states of the lower gunas, tamaguna, rajaguna, sattvaguna, turiya, growing like this, becoming more refined, until the very one who has go as far as he can be refined drops away. That's it. But I am not showing you that journey today, although I don't curse or dismiss that journey, but I'm showing you a direct way, the way of the sage's way, the sage's way. That the one who is making the journey is the imagined self. Watched from a place that is not imagining, the more it becomes aware of itself as the ultimate weakness, behind which there is nothing. That is called liberation. In fact, the self, the pure self, does not know liberation because it doesn't know bondage. Those only exist in the mind consciousness, which is its earliest and purest projection. I don't know if you grasp this. It's not even necessary for me to tell you this right now. It's only because there are few beings here for whom that is important to know. Maybe what I say now will be absorbed later. But for now, I only point you to that you are capable of observing the movements of time and shape and thought and identity. You cannot be essentially or fundamentally the thing you are observing. You are observing everything, capable of observing everything. But yourself you cannot observe phenomenally. This is why I use the term a non-phenomenal recognition. What it means is not you cannot see the self as an object because it is not different from you. You cannot see the self. You can only discover and be the self. Subtle. I'm not asking, I'm not relating to or relying upon your mind to understand this. Grace is putting it in the right place in you. It brought you here. Allow it to guide you. Don't push it about. Don't try and use your mind to control it. Don't let your mind be the secretary of your heart. It's time to look directly from your true place as you're being guided. Presently, you may not think you have the capacity to do that. But gradually, something is arising within you. The grace of the Lord, the power of the Supreme Self. It is He who brought you here to tell you, I love you and you're my own self. So when you say, I see it, I see it, I see it, this seeing is very important. See it, leave it, or drop it. But don't retain any identity as someone who dropped anything, because you just are. The sun does not drop darkness. It only radiates light. It does not know darkness. In fact, it does not even know light. You don't need to know more. I've told you enough. The rest you will discover intuitively as you make use of the only few little steps. And they're not steps going out. They're just steps of understanding. As you recognize what I'm pointing to, the rest start to become automatic for you. Automatic for you. The mind wants to send you on a journey. Go there, do this. And for how long have we been on this journey? I don't know. But what is the journey of the infinite? Maybe the belief in our personal self is still got some grip for something. It's okay. In Satsang, the egoic identity is like a piece of ice being put in a bucket of warm water, and a melting is taking place. It's not that the ice is surrendering to the water. You can put it like that, it's okay, we can use language, but it is a melting is taking place. The ice is fundamentally water, and warm water is fundamentally water. A melting is taking place. That is grace. Don't think, oh, how can I do it? This I you're speaking from cannot do it. It cannot do it. It just gets undone. By grace, it's happening. If you go the I's way, it feels long and burdensome. I may meet you a few years later if I'm still here in this way, and you still be looking. But if you follow, you will discover. I say, when you are curious, you learn. But when you are desperate, you discover. It's almost as though life has to drive us to a place where things are urgent for you. Your mind just wants to be comfortable, and but even if a work has to be done, grace is already helping you to see if it is your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Let's just take a little space. Let me read a letter, and you just take a bit of space. Don't go away, just be here, because where is your question coming from? Your mind or from yourself? Just 1 second. Dearest Mooji, you have inspired me, and what means a lot is how you choose your words so carefully, and behind them is always so much love. This made a deep impression. Here is a picture of my friend RHS, Jackie, and myself. You can't see it, something there. Jackie has fair hair. Okay, I can't see that. She is very kind and loving and longing to help others. But at present, it is she who needs a blessing, and at this time is passing through a dark stage in life. As for myself, Guruji, my friend asked me to mention I am having serious diabetic challenges at the moment too. Could you please look into my face and heart and be with me for just a moment as one in the silence of God? Thank you, kindest. Thank you kindly, dearest of souls. Karuna from Australia. Thank you. Okay, thank you. This one. Okay, when I see you. Yeah. And the two will be one. I'm sure. Okay, stay there. Okay, let me hear from you for a minute. One.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
Guruji, I don't want to waste any more time.
Good.
I don't want to waste this life. I don't want to waste this incarnation. I don't want another life. I want to be done. I want the walls of Jericho to completely, 100% come down. And I'm here asking you for your grace. I've been a seeker a long time. And I know I can't do this myself.
Yes. We had to taste for a time a sort of almost the pride of autonomy. I can do this, I can do it, this is my life, nobody can tell me. We have to try. This is the dance of the manifest. We have to feel the autonomy of personhood and the kind of the confidence in personhood. And we have to go through these states, not everyone, as someone earlier said, why some get it seem more quickly than others, I can't answer that. Maybe we have different starting points also, you see? But somehow, sometimes life has to play where your dreams are broken, where your pride is crushed. Where your autonomy brings only trouble. In order to create in us favorable conditions to work with grace. Because if there remains in us an arrogance, and arrogance is coupled with ignorance, then darkness comes into the world. So when we are feeling humble, when we're feeling, I cannot do this in my own strength, maybe a humility comes. Where there's humility, there's an openness. When there's openness, there are possibilities. It's part of the play. So if you've come to the point where you feel, I need help, I say, to require help or to request for help is wise. To ask for help until you can go beyond the need for help is wise. Now you say, I want the walls of Jericho to fall down. Walls of Jericho means what? All the concepts, all the ideas that I've used to build a life which has not brought happiness and peace and joy and love. I have had glimpses only, but I'm not working now for a glimpse. I want to be thoroughly established in my true self. This is what we will have to look into it if you qualify, if you really become a candidate for freedom. Is it denied you? Is it some power? Say, no, not her. Is there some power like that? Okay, you come. Yeah, you, no, not you. Not you. And life may do this for you if you have arrogance. No, not you. Okay. It may play like that. It can play any way it wants. But in order to prepare the soil of your mind and heart to receive grace, to receive guidance, to overcome strife, suffering, sorrow. So, you say, I'm at this point, I've been seeking for some time, then how can today be the day of finding then? If you've been seeking, and you have not, because when I hear of people, if some people tell me, I've been seeking for 40 years. I say, what? You are searching for 40 years. Because if you are searching for truth for 40 years, you've missed it. Because it's here. It's here. So what stands in the way of your discovery? Because you cannot discover the truth and remain as the one who discovered the truth. When you discover the truth, you are truth. If you are one who discovered the truth, you can be one who loses the truth. And if truth is not a commodity that can be found and lost, so what needs to be done then? I have searched for a long time. Today, I'm appealing because I want to go beyond all of that now, because it's my efforts have not worked by themselves. Help me, you see. Have you listened to the invitation played in the mornings?
Thousands of times, yes, and it's beautiful. I've listened to it for some time.
Yeah. But it's a key, and it's a mirror. When you look in the mirror, do you say the mirror is beautiful? You're going to look in the mirror and say, oh, the mirror is beautiful. The invitation is not beautiful. The invitation is a mirror and a key. What have you found by looking in this mirror? The mirror is for you. Each one who look in the mirror, that time with the mirror is about you. You never look in the mirror and then you see George Bush's face. So my God. Sorry, nothing about, it's not personal to George Bush. It could be any other person, Napoleon Bonaparte, I don't know. You must find your face. So like this I'm saying, you say, I asked you, it's very important for me to ask as well, have you been listening to the invitation? Because the invitation is your friend who will walk you into your own freedom. What has been, at the end of listening to the invitation or reading it, you put the book down, you take off your headphones or whatever, what remains? Please tell me, what have you found? What impact has it had upon you? Please tell me that.
Yes, I feel peace, openness, spaciousness, formlessness, agelessness, a love, beauty.
Mm-hmm. And you who find these are what? Slow down, I'm not in a hurry. You say, I've found peace, I've found timelessness, found agelessness, I've found great, whatever, beautiful things. But you who discovered them are what?
The self, awareness.
But then what you're saying does not tally up with your question. If you have found these things, what do you found? Why would you be asking, I've been searching for so long, and please, I want the walls of Jericho to fall down. Did they not fall down in the invitation?
Well, actually, I can see I should have been clearer.
Mm-hmm.
The walls of Jericho have fallen down, but there is some residual that is milling around that appears to be beyond my seeing.
But how do you know them then if you say that there are still some things around and things like that, but appears to be beyond my seeing? Don't try to be super perfect.
Because the awareness never doesn't stay. It
Where
comes
can
and goes.
okay, the awareness we are saying that it's infinite, it's omnipresent, but in your case it doesn't stay. Where does it go? You see,
It's
this
just
is
hidden.
This
It is hidden somehow.
From who? By what is it hidden? Something can only be hidden as an object. If you're talking about an eclipse, there must be at least 3 factors. It must be the thing that exists the one who wants to see it, and the thing that comes in between to block the thing. Can the self be like an object being blocked by the mind, and the one can't see this? Can the self be an object? We need to be clear about this, because we are tackling how the mind presents things, because many people are searching for something that they're going to recognize phenomenally. This is why I say it's a non-phenomenal recognition, meaning it's not recognizing something. You cannot see something and go, ah, I found the self. So you found the self. Yeah, it's right there. And you are what? Who find the self? Please just listen. I'll just take a minute to share a very short example. One yogini, I talked about this before, I don't speak about it for a while. She is in meditation. No? She's in meditation. And somewhere inside this empty space of meditation, she begins to hear sounds. And the sounds are the most beautiful sound. Like no composer, no musician can produce such melodies. It's like, wow. Just how extraordinary this music, how wonderful. But it cannot be what I am, because I am here to hear it. As soon as she recognized this, the sounds drifted away. And she remained in her state. Next, the most beautiful colors appear. Iridescent colors of such luminosity, such beauty, that you have never seen any flower, no rainbow, nothing at all, as not the mother of pearl. The color seen cannot compare with the luminosity, the brilliance, the beauty of these colors. And she's almost mesmerized by them. So, oh, how extraordinarily beautiful. But they cannot be the self. They cannot be what I am, because I'm here perceiving them. As soon as that became clear, the colors, they melted away, and she remained. Now, beings shaped out of light are floating towards her with radiant smiles, an embrace that looks like an embrace of the Divine Mother coming, floating, coming, and whoa, this one is really fantastic. Such love, such beauty in these beings there. I must be in heaven, the beings are floating. Some coming, some people. And she's almost breathless with such a supernatural manifestation. But they cannot be the essence, because I am here to perceive them. And they too vanished. You cannot see the self. The mind will try to present it as an object, some form, even a burning bush, a chariot of fire, a golden cloud. But it is not the essence, because the essence cannot be seen. It is from the essence that even seeing is seen. So nothing you can imagine, any shape that is created shape or manifest shape, whether it comes from this plane of existence or another plane of existence or from the highest heavens, can be the true self. you cannot see the self. You are looking from the self. But because of the idea that you are a person, then the seeing is not holistic, it's not complete. The self is not looking for the self, but in its looking, all that it sees is itself, not as forms. You may say that it appears through forms, it supports the forms, but it cannot look on itself because it is not a thing. It is not a no-thing thing. Therefore, there are no books directly written by the self about the self. And yet, it is the one thing that you cannot not be. This is what we are discovering. This is the self's game with itself. Maybe a game of hide and seek. Until it realizes that all that can be hidden and all that can be sought cannot find it. So back to you, you say, I can see all these things, but any search for the self, phenomena with a phenomenal intention to recognize something will not end in this discovery. When that is itself discovered,
Yes.
you may recognize where you already are and have been timelessly.
I feel I know it isn't phenomenal, but things, I'm so sorry, do arise.
Yes, you are to know
And
that
I witness
you are to
them.
know
I
that
am the
all
witnesser
things that
of them.
arises through the mind or through the senses are like clouds passing. But the mind gives a greater reality to them than really exists in them. You see? And who does it give it to? Well, who does it create it for? For the idea you have of who you are. When you can see that the sense of yourself is who you take yourself to be and is not the fact of what you are, then a great opening prevails. And you come to see, but I cannot settle for any image as what I am. Even this image. You see?
Yes, yes.
And then you qualify to perceive the imageless, but you don't perceive the imageless with imageful eyes. It's not a dualistic functioning or outcome. You know, we're going to continue this conversation, you and I, at some point.
Yes.
And sir, I
Please.
remember you. The next satsang, I will call you if you come, or somebody help me to bring you, because I want to close now for today in this part of satsang. I feel it has been shared enough for today. In fact, whatever has been shared today is enough to guide you home today. Mind might say more and more, I want more and more. But it's not more and more you need, it's just to go deeper and deeper with it. It's not more knowledge, it's not more satsangs, it's not more retreats, it's not more time even. It's just to accept and look more deeply into what is with you. And it has already, in the content of our conversation today, is everything you need, because beings have used even less information to find freedom. You understand? Because the mind, is like he's a funny guy. He keeps trying to look into different mirrors as though a different mirror will give him a different reflection. It's like that. You don't need to keep going from place to place. The mind is sending you another place, another place, another place. I have a great friend in the United States. When I go there, she has one wall that is full of mirrors of different shapes and different sizes, on her wall. Okay? And then so I decided that I want to put sticker on each mirror. I'll call one Ramakrishna, I call one Shiva, I call one Buddha, I call one mirror Jesus, I call one Holy Prophet Muhammad. I call her them. Yeah? The shape is different, but the reflection and the truth is one. You have everything you need to look into the mirror of your timelessness. If you only listen and follow a little bit. You don't have to drink in every word that I've said, but I've said enough for you. If there's an earnestness in you for this, grace will help you to digest and assimilate it to the point where you combust into it. This is what I want to share with you. And for as long as I'm here, I'm only here for this. I'm only here for you. That is all. As whatever God has presented the capacity within this to share its light, I leave it with you. I leave it with you. You see? It is the expression of God's grace. That's all I can say. Worship Him, seek Him in any temple, in any mosque, in any shrine, in any stone, under any tree, in any place. He's the same one. The same one shining inside your heart as this. This is my joy to share this with you, because it belongs to you to know that and to find that which you imagine you have become separate from and that you can lose. It's a delusion and an illusion that is holding the whole world captive, but just for the moment. Treat this time as your time, your golden age, your time. Don't listen to anybody say it is Kali Yuga. It won't be Kali Yuga for you. So I will continue to speak with you, okay?
I would very much like that. Good.
Me too.
Thank you so much.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you for now.
Very blessed. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Love you very much.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May we have, I think somebody is coming to play a bit today. For those of you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think while they're coming, I read just a few verses from Ashtavakra Gita while musicians are coming. It says, the sage is saying, striving and craving for pleasure or prosperity, these are your enemies, springing up to destroy you from the presumptions of virtue. Let them all go. Hold on to nothing. Every good fortune, wives, husbands, friends, houses, lands, all these gifts and riches, they are a dream, a juggling act, a traveling show. A few days and they're all gone. Consider, wherever there is desire, there is the world. With resolute dispassion, free yourself from desire and find complete happiness. Desire binds you, nothing else. Destroy it and you are free. Turn from the world, fulfill yourself, and find lasting happiness. You are one. You are pure awareness. The world is not real. It is lifeless, really. Nor is ignorance real. So what can you wish to know? Life after life, you indulged in different forms, different pleasures, sons and daughters, kingdoms, and these, only to lose them all. Enough of the pursuit of pleasure, enough of wealth and righteous deeds. In the dark forest of the world, what peace of mind can they bring to you? How you have toiled life after life, pressing into painful labor, your body and mind and your words. It is time to stop now and be free. And I read this, I picked it up to read this. I say, actually, what I'm sharing with you is easier than this. Even easier than this. I'm not going to ask you to destroy anything at all. It's enough that you see into its unreality. There is nothing to destroy, because you cannot destroy what does not exist. You can only see its unreality, and it is over for you. Nothing in the world is wrong by itself. Not money, not riches even, not these things in themselves. But clinging to them, depending on them for your joy, is a delusion. You see, nothing is wrong with anything that God has made. But clinging to things which are perishable is a mistake we are allowed to make for a time, and to grow from that, and to come back into your indivisible truth. So that is what I share with you. Thank you, thank you.
namo namah. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev,
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev,
Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah. Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah. Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah.
Moojibaba, Moojibaba,
Moojibaba,
Moojibaba, Namo Namah. Moojibaba, Namo Namah.
Moojibaba, Namo Namah. Moojibaba, Namo Namah.
Om Namo Jai 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 Namo Namah. Om Namo Jai Namo Namah.
Om Namo Jai Namo Namah. Om Namo Jai Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudev, 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 Namo Namah. Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah. Jai Gurudev, Namo Namah.
Moojibaba, 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 Namo Namah. Om Namo Jai Namo Namah.
Jai Namo Namah.
Om Namo 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 Jai Namo Namah.
Moojibaba, Namo Namah.
Moojibaba, Namo Namah. करुणामयी है, कृपामयी है।
करुणामयी है, कृपामयी है।
करुणामयी है, कृपामयी है।
दृष्टि तुम्हारी हम पे पड़ी है,
दृष्टि तुम्हारी हम पे पड़ी है।
दृष्टि तुम्हारी हम पे पड़ी है,
दृष्टि तुम्हारी हम पे पड़ी है।
करुणा के सागर बाबा मेरे,
करुणा के सागर बाबा मेरे।
करुणा के सागर बाबा मेरे।
करुणा के सागर बाबा मेरे।
मिट गए अब बंधन मेरे,
मिट गए अब बंधन मेरे।
मिट गए अब बंधन मेरे।
मिट गए अब बंधन मेरे।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय 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 नमो नमः। ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः। मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः। मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
मुजीबाबा नमो नमः। मुजीबाबा नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
ओम नमो जय नमो नमः।
नमो जय नमो नमः।
गुरुदेव तुम्हारी जय होवे।
गुरुदेव तुम्हारी जय होवे।
गुरुदेव तुम्हारी जय होवे।
गुरुदेव तुम्हारी जय होवे।
महाराज तुम्हारी जय होवे।
महाराज तुम्हारी जय होवे।
महाराज तुम्हारी जय होवे
महाराज तुम्हारी जय होवे।
Didn't she want to put on her shoes?
suffering. Please, please, I want to experience that transcendence. Thank you for like all my tears, answered all my honest questions, Guruji. I love you so much. I love you so much. Please stay in my heart all the time. Thank you so much, Guruji. Thank you. Wipe all my tears, Guruji.
That is already so much.
In Satsang, all my questions are answered. I had full of questions, but you answered all the questions were shattering every moment. Stay here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for it. Love you so much. Love you so much. I would like to have something.
Hey, Moojibaba.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey. So good, so good. So good, so good.